Mike, did you play with
Cookie
Barbies?
Monster.
I was
hoping it wouldn't come this way, but I did.
Welcome, everybody, to LED Live. It's good to have you here with us today. Just want to introduce the new face around the table. This is Danique. Welcome, Danique.
What's up, everybody?
A little bit of LED history. Danique actually used to work with us when we were in Scotty's basement.
That's right.
And
long time ago.
yeah, that time we didn't have a show like we have now. So you may have seen her on videos in the past, and if you think she looks familiar that way.
Replacement
I
Gods
just
Part
look
2.
I just look a little older.
That's true. Replacement Gods too. She's gotten older, matured, and she's actually getting ready to get married.
That's right.
So that's awesome.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Well, prior to the show, we were actually talking about all kinds of things like Kindy's mobile plan and
Elon Musk going to
Threads, Thread versus Twitter, and then that led into who's going to win the cage fight between Musk and Zuckerberg. We're not going to talk about that today, actually. We are not all dressed in pink to talk about Barbie, but we will be talking about Barbie. So, what do you have about Barbie?
Okay, so have you guys seen anything in the news about Barbie and how it's blowing up?
I've
Nothing
seen
at all.
trailers.
It's not in my algorithm at all.
Yeah, it started appearing in my algorithm because I had to do some research. But Barbie, the movie is coming out end of this month. We're recording in July. And apparently there's like Barbie cafes that people are popping up, and news anchors are dressed up in pink visiting these places.
That's what I've been noticing. Just people on Facebook wearing all pink together at parties and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah,
I didn't think it
yeah.
was going to be that big.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy when you think about a Barbie movie, right, being so big. But let's just watch a trailer real quick and see what is going on with this movie. And I think we all know this is going to be same old storyline, and we'll kind of look at what's wrong with it.
Hey, Barbie. Can I come to your house tonight?
Sure. I don't have anything big planned, just a giant blowout party with all the Barbies and planned choreography and a bespoke song. You should stop by.
So cool.
You can find me under the lights, diamonds under my eyes.
This is the best day ever. It is the best day ever. So is yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and every day from now until forever. Do you guys ever think about dying?
When my heart breaks.
Okay, I cut this trailer up in different segments because I want to
So
look at
ridiculous.
different pieces. But first things, what stands out?
Everything's perfect.
Yep.
Why are the tough questions always a buzzkill? Like, why can't it just be cool and
It's part of life.
deep conversation?
Yeah, before we
Mental
get there, though,
stimulation.
I have a question. It's not tough, but did you play with Barbies when you were little?
I didn't.
I was a bit of a tomboy at the time.
Okay.
I hated skirts and pink. I actually hated pink and any dresses. So Barbies. I played with the baby dolls, the big babies. Yeah.
Same, I can relate to that. But my mom was really intentional about not getting that for my growth and development and all of that. She was also looking for diversity, which Barbie didn't have. So she got me the American Girl
dolls?
Yeah, but not the dolls. Too expensive. The books.
Okay.
I read the books, but I grew up on stuffed animals and Sesame Street characters.
Oh.
That was
Okay.
my childhood.
Monsters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike, did you play with
Cookie
Barbies?
Monster.
I was gonna ask.
I hoping it wouldn't come this way, but I did.
You're an honest man.
Yeah. I mean, to be completely honest, then I thought she was pretty,
Okay.
and that's why I liked playing with her.
Did you go full on dollhouse?
No.
Okay.
I did ask. There was a why are we even going here? My parents' friend babysat me one time, and I wanted a Barbie doll, and she bought it for me. And my parents were like, "Why'd you buy my son a Barbie doll? He wanted it." And I honestly just thought she looked pretty.
Well, that would be seen as very progressive nowadays. If
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Get him a Barbie doll.
And look at
Yeah,
me
yeah.
now. I didn't chop anything off. I'm still the same. Sometimes it just... It wasn't it wasn't because
through
of
phases.
anything else. I just
Yeah.
thought she was pretty. But one thing I noticed, they're all wearing white at this party. The island is the shape of a heart. We know heaven is a place of love, and like he said, everything's perfect. Every day is perfect.
This symbol right here is actually, it looks a little similar to a pagan symbol right here.
Which one?
This,
Like
this right here, this like half. I don't know which one it was.
is
I
it
just
the wheel? Of,
the wheel, like the
all
wheel of something.
All the holidays and stuff, the Samhain
Might
and all that
be,
stuff.
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, just throwing it out. I don't know if they did it on
I see a
purpose. It's
rainbow.
just interesting.
Barbie Land.
Okay.
And it seems very exclusive.
Yeah.
Because outside, like look at the terrain outside of the heart.
Oh, it's
It's
dry.
dry.
Oh,
Even the
yeah.
water.
So this is like
Oh,
the
yeah.
perfect world, right?
Yeah. It's
Everything is
perfect.
perfect.
Yep.
They're having a good time.
Nobody thinks about death, apparently.
Nobody thinks
Yeah.
about death, except now Barbie's like, do you guys ever think about dying? And everybody's like, oh my gosh.
Well, it's so perfect. She even floats off of her house. Even when
Yeah.
she takes her perfect high heel feet off, shoes
Yeah.
off, her feet are still like that.
Yeah.
Which a lot of women would consider that like perfect, I guess.
So the reason why they did that is because the Barbie, apparently now they changed it, but the Barbie doll was always, the foot was always up.
It was.
So they recreated that. But later on, we'll see a segment where they have an issue with her feet.
Well, one good thing we'll throw out there, speaking of diversity, Barbie has gotten really diverse
That's
lately.
true.
Have you seen that? I've seen wheelchair Barbie. I've seen different
How
races.
diverse?
I mean,
That's
a
the
lot.
question.
They have short, wide, all. I mean, I've been down the aisle in Walmart, and I'm like, wow, it's actually impressive.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at the next clip. So this is an interview that they did. We'll go back to the trailer after this. Just listen to what they say. This is the cast of the Barbie. So this chick on the right, what's her name again? Australian actress.
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. She plays the main Barbie, and the other, the two on the left here also play Barbie. And this girl with the black suit,
Are they all named Barbie?
They're all different Barbies,
That's
like
fun.
with different,
Like the multiverse.
basically. And the chick in the black suit on the right, she is a human because she goes to the real world eventually. So let's watch this.
Barbie Land is perfect. So it's really just maintaining the order of perfection. Compliments are absolutely essential. We
Dance parties. Every 90
lots
minutes.
of words. Yeah, every 90 minutes.
Love your Barbie friends.
Words of affirmation constantly. Everything was, universally free education, healthcare, everything signed into law. So
So quick clip just to show you, it's not just us saying it's perfect. They
Right.
say it themselves. It's a perfect world. It's supposed to be that way.
Even in that trailer, they were like, every day is perfect.
Yep.
And we just did a show recently showing movie after movie that was a fighting against perfection. It was Tron and The Matrix and Guardians of the Galaxy. There's so many movies where it's like perfection is looked at as something boring or just bad in general.
Yeah.
I mean, everything she described, who wouldn't want to live in a world where everything is like constant affirmation, joy, all this stuff?
Yeah.
Ugly Dolls was another one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Same story every single time. And it makes you think, like, why would they want to share the same story every time about this perfect world? And we'll see later on where, but the perfect world is bad. You need to go live your life a little bit, right? Like,
What's interesting is how we don't pick up on it.
yeah.
I mean, I was a Christian for 8 years before the blinders fell off, and I was even, when people said Harry Potter was pushing witchcraft and stuff, I couldn't even see that.
Wow.
It's like, what kind of spell is this thing casting on people that we can watch the same story over and over and over and just not even pick up on it? It's pretty weird.
Yeah, we all identify with those things psychologically. It's like we inherently know. The Bible says that God has put eternity in our heart, Ecclesiastes. So we know that things aren't the way they should be, really. And we know it's a messed up world. The messed up world's the one we can identify with. And so it's the one we feel most comfortable in at the time. So the idea of a perfect world is, in some ways becomes a little unsettling to people. How do you live in that world? What's that like? It's unknown.
This is where they show you the sets. This is a little behind the scenes clip.
The kitchen's great. So we have a mixture of, things that are physically there, but then also decal, because again, playing into the world of toys and how it would look if it was a Mattel product. Our kitchen being a great example of that. So on the back here, you have just a decal, so it is intentionally 2D, and it's that thing where we want things to be obviously artificial, but still very satisfying. Come and see the pool. There is no water in Barbie Land. There's no water or fire. There are no elements. It's actually funny to see how many people avoid walking. Everyone walks around the pool. Even though it's fake, it's really beautiful, which is kind of like everything in Barbie Land.
Even though it's fake, it's really beautiful.
Right.
Like who wants
Which
to
is
live in
an interesting thought that perfection is an illusion.
Yeah.
Man,
that
that's
it's not real.
Not attainable.
Also, going back to the thing of like the water being different, so I guess that ocean piece in the heart was fake.
Probably,
suppose
no
so.
water.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Seeing as crystal clear water is real.
Yeah. So that so to me, this is again, we know, working in this industry, you never do anything just because.
Right.
Nothing is an accident. And I watched some behind the scenes with the director as well. She's a female. She talks about the things that she puts in there on purpose. She thinks about everything.
Is this a Tesla? It's like a self-driving car.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, that is interesting that, when we say something, we point something out, the comeback is always, oh, you guys are looking way too deep. It's not that deep. It's just, mindless entertainment. Just watch it, enjoy it. But then if they're not coming at the angle that we are, you can look up stuff, movies like The Matrix, and you'll find out that people say, this movie changed my life. They say, it's so deep. I mean, how'd they think about all that stuff? And it just blew my mind. But then when we do the very same thing, point out just how really deep it is, no, we're looking way too deep. It just, because the angle we're coming at it is, there's something in here that you shouldn't be entertaining your mind with.
Yeah.
There should be some kind of change that comes with this.
Yeah. So a very plastic world, very perfect world. Let's continue with the trailer.
Some things have been happening that might be related.
When my world shakes.
Cold shower, falling off my roof, and my heels are on the ground.
Okay, so here comes the obvious storyline. The perfect world is no longer perfect. Flat feet. Everything is falling apart. Cold showers. I think I even read that all of a sudden she's having a cellulite. Don't quote me on this. I don't know that's for sure. I just read it somewhere. It says cellulite, says flat feet. She has cold showers. She falls off the roof. Like, oh my gosh, what is happening?
I'm wondering what is that a result of? Did it start just like out of the blue, or is it when she started questioning, then all of these things started happening to her as a penalty or something like that? Because then even that's a bad mentality or thought to have, especially when you think about attributing it to God. Like, we can't question anything. We can't. God says, come, let us reason together. He entertains questions. He wants to converse with us. And so we should never be afraid to question things or approach God, especially since he has provided us a whole book, the Bible, that has all the answers.
Amen.
Yeah. But is this subtle philosophies that are in these movies that slip into your subconscious and you start believing it, and then down the road you find yourself way like in a position you never thought you'd be in, and it all starts from these subtleties.
From a Gnostic point of view, I mean, Adam and Eve were in this perfect world. Lucifer said, you can eat this fruit of knowledge of good and evil, and it wasn't a bad thing. When they ate it, they had all the knowledge. So I mean, if this is that, there's a perfect world, she's questioning things, and so far it looks like it's bad. Like, oh no, my feet are flat and there's cold showers and I fell. But I have a feeling that they're going to find out, well, this isn't that bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you want to go a little into what Gnosticism is for those that don't know?
Yeah, it's just basically an inversion of the Bible. It's the belief, it's a Luciferianism. It's a Luciferian idea that you have the whole story of what the Bible says, except Lucifer wasn't evil. He wasn't deceiving Adam and Eve. He was actually trying to open their eyes, because God is some tyrannical villain that's keeping them in this perfect world when there's a whole world outside there that he was keeping them from. He was keeping them from knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, that's what the accusation of the enemy was, is that God he doesn't want you to be smart. He doesn't want you to know the truth. But if you eat this fruit that he's trying to keep you from, then you'll know the truth and you'll be enlightened and evolve and all these things.
And it came from Christians who, I guess you could say, kind of strayed from the faith and had
like
different ideas.
Offshoot.
Offshoot, yeah, who had this like Gnostic ideas, and it's still happening today.
Yeah, somebody who's agnostic means that they don't have knowledge. That just means no knowledge. But the Gnostics, they had the knowledge. That's what they believed. So
yeah.
So looking up the plot line on this website, I think it's Looper. Yeah, Looper. So when you're kind of reading through and you get to the last part where it says, most alarmingly of all, Barbie is suddenly haunted by thoughts of death. Hoping to find answers to life's biggest questions, she decides to venture out into the real world with a stowaway Ken tagging along. Unfortunately, this is frowned upon by the executives at Mattel, the company that makes Barbie toys.
Yeah.
the creators.
Yeah.
By the creators.
It reminded me of the Lego. It reminded me of the Lego movie.
Very much.
Yeah. Like there's the creator of the Lego universe in the Lego movie, who is very much portrayed as God.
Yeah.
And if anyone hasn't seen that video we did on it, it's a couple years ago, just look up Little Less Studios Lego movie, you'll find it. But this is the same setup, and you'll see it toward the end of the trailer, you'll see Mattel looks gray and dull, and it's just men in suits.
Humans only have one ending.
Get that Barbie!
You know, like God is gray and dull and just like
So the audience sympathizes with Barbie during this stage in the same way that Gnostics sympathize with Lucifer. And like he was just seeking truth, and look what's happening to him because of, you know, his pursuit for truth.
You know what's also kind of interesting to me? The Lego movie. Do you remember who one of the main actors was in that?
Chris Pratt.
Whoever plays the
So it was
man upstairs,
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, plays
who's
the
man
same
upstairs in the Lego movie.
Yeah.
He's the Mattel CEO
Yeah.
in the
this
movie.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell's in this.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like the same character,
same
essentially,
setup,
kind of plot line.
and you think like, oh, but these actors, they don't know. They do know.
What's crazy is who came up with this idea? Like, let's make a movie about Barbie, but in the world it's like perfection. She doesn't want perfection.
Yeah.
Like, how can they just keep coming with the same plot? Do they say, hey, we have this plot and we need a new package to put it in? Like, what other package can we put this we don't like perfection in? Or is it just literally like, hey, it'd be cool to make a Barbie movie. What would the story be about? I don't know. Maybe perfection sucks. Like, I don't understand how it happens every time.
Margot Robbie apparently approached the director, but the director also wrote the script. But it's interesting because there's so much information out there if you do some research about actors that channel spirits, actors that have you guys ever read what's the French Canadian guy's name who was a Satanist? Roger Morneau. He wrote a book,
A Trip into the
Supernatural. And he was a Satanist who was, I guess you could say, had access to some private meetings, and he was told like Satan had a meeting with you know, I guess either his demons or like his actual high up Satanists, and he was talking about, this is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use media to deceive the world. Yeah. This is one of the means. The other one was evolution. There's a few things.
Aliens too.
And so yeah, like there are these celebrities. If you watch Walter Veit, Veit is Veith. If you watch his series Total Onslaught, which again you can watch for free on YouTube, he has so much evidence for these celebrities and presidents and everybody that are part of secret societies. He literally has documents stating this. It's not a lie or just a joke. Like, this is actually happening. And if you think about it, Jesus was tempted by Satan before he went to the wilderness. And one of the things Satan offered him is all of the world.
Yep.
And he said, no. Wouldn't he offer that to every single
Everybody.
other person?
Yeah.
And they say yes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, these people literally live like gods. You think about it. I mean, they're just everywhere they go, everything's free, even though they got more money than they can spend. And
they're worshipped.
Yeah. Literally called idols.
Yeah.
But yeah, Roger Morneau, he also talked about a room full of typewriters that were typing themselves and stuff. So, you know, these writers, they say, I got this from a dream. You know, Avatar and James Cameron, he openly admits that his scripts came from a dream, as well as many other authors like
J.K. Rowling.
Yeah,
she saw Harry Potter on the train, like
wrote it on a napkin, and now it's like the third best-selling next to the Bible or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, we believe Hollywood is like Satan's Bible, so to speak, because all of these themes are in direct conflict with the true Word of God, the Holy Bible. And so the fact that the biblical writers were inspired by the Holy Spirit, they were inspired by God. In the same way, a lot of these movie writers, directors, producers are inspired by, and they say it. This is not just me. We have so many interviews of them saying, I was inspired by this, you know, odd looking being or my spirit guide or what have you. We have episodes about that, people coming out of the new age talking about their spirit guide and how they were leading them into lies instead of the truth. And so who is the author of lies? The devil. And so the devil is influencing these things, and he has his ideas, his stories that he's pushing, and he's going to keep doing that even though it's packaged differently. And so him being the counterfeit to God, him using God's playbook and twisting it the same way that God imparts his inspiration onto us, Satan is doing the same thing. And that's why you see duplicates over and over and over all over Hollywood.
Let me see. I think there's another clip that's similar to this one after.
What do I have to do?
You have to go to the real world.
You can go back to your regular life, or you can know the truth about the universe. The choice is now yours. The first one, the high heel.
You have to want to know, okay? Do it again. What can I do you for?
I just had to come see you about my feet. They're,
Flat.
yeah.
Never seen that before.
Really?
Whoa.
What do I have to do?
You have to go to the real world.
You can go back to your regular life and forget any of this ever happened, or you can know the truth about the universe.
The first one, the high heel.
No. We'll do a redo. You're supposed to want to know.
You're supposed to want to know.
I want to point out the one who's offering the truth is just like chaos, you know,
Yeah.
like messy hair, like drawings on her face, and this is Satan, the lawless one. Like that's the one that wants to offer you the truth, you know.
Yeah.
But the ones that you said are the executives, they're the ones that are hiding everything from you.
That's true. Very colorful. And you see that it's still colorful, but it's really messy. Like you said, the house is messy. Everything is messy. And then something specific is she was offering Birkenstocks. Birkenstocks are known to provide arch support for people with flat feet. And so she's like, I want to wear the heels. I want to wear what I've been known to wear. It's like, no, embrace your situation with your feet, the imperfection, and run with it. That's what they're saying. Yeah. So
Very interesting.
So we're identifying the character with the messy hair and all of that as the villain, whereas in the context of the movie, is that the person who's running the whole place?
I guess I would look at that character as like in Gnosticism, like this is the Sophia.
Yeah.
You know, the one that's offering the truth, the one that's offering, you know, as the Gnostics look at it, like the serpent offering the knowledge. Like, don't you want the knowledge of what else is available
it is a woman.
to you? Yeah, it is a woman.
In the Lego movie, it was a woman named Lucy of all things, and then in Truman shows a woman named something like Sophia or something. It's always this woman that's trying to bring the truth. I can't remember some of the other examples. Smallfoot, same thing. The stonekeeper's daughter was the one.
Let's look at another one.
Yep.
So listen to these lyrics, and I'll point out the lyrics right after. Again, they do everything on purpose. You don't just pick a random song to play for this scene. You write it into the script.
It's not that annoying Barbie song.
No.
Okay.
Which, by the way, is very R-rated if you actually listen to the Barbie song lyrics.
Definitely.
But this is different.
Closer I am fine. Closer I am fine.
I'm coming with you.
Okay, let's jump into the lyrics. The song that they're singing is Closer to Fine by the Indigo Girls. And listen to what it says. I'm trying to tell you something about my life. Maybe give me insight between black and white. And the best thing you ever done for me is to help me take my life less seriously. It's only life after all. Yeah. Now this line right here. Well, darkness has a hunger that is insatiable, and lightness has a call that's hard to hear. And I wrap my fear around me like a blanket. I sailed my ship of safety till I sank it. I'm crawling on your shores, and I went to the doctor. I went to the mountains. I looked to the children. I drank from the fountains. There's more than one answer to these questions, pointing me in a crooked line, and the less I seek my source for some definitive, the less I seek my source, closer I am to find.
Oh,
Isn't that super Gnostic
that
too?
is.
That's pretty messed up.
Right?
Yeah. So
yeah, go ahead.
I have a hunger for darkness,
Yep.
sin. Light is hard to understand. I don't even want to hear it. And that's what the Bible talks about. The darkness hates the light. And then we're supposed to walk the straight and narrow that few will go into. And she's like, look, the truth is showing me this crooked line. And that's the closer I'm getting to find. That's the closer I'm getting to truth, is following this crooked line that has more than one answer.
And the less I seek my source for some definitive, which I would say is the Bible,
No.
close I am to find. This song is being played, and she's singing it as she's leaving Barbie Land, the perfect world, and she's going to the real world.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Fascinating.
That was
Yeah.
a good thing you looked that up. I wouldn't have even thought. I didn't even pay attention to what the song was saying when she was singing. I was more noticing that she was singing out of tune and stuff, because I'm sure that's part of it. Her feet are flat now and she can't hold a pitch and all that.
Yeah. I think one more thing and that's it.
No, I mean, I think it's like when I read the script, I was like, I actually went to college with Greta, you guys. So I know that she's like a genius. I knew that even before any of her movies
you
came
used
out.
to do comedy shows with Greta Gerwig.
I
when
did
you were
actually,
18, which
yes.
is so full circle.
I actually did. So I knew how brilliant she was, and when I heard she was doing the Barbie movie, I was like, what is this going to be? But I knew it was going to be something, and then I read it, and it was about how gender roles deny people half their humanity, and how we need to just be ourselves, and it's a very powerful message. And so how you spot a Ken is just everyone's themselves,
Yeah,
Everyone is thinking about that in the car.
So
she's one of the hosts of SNL, right? Or used to be one of the
I don't know, but she played that chaotic looking Barbie.
Oh, okay.
So they're talking about gender roles, right? And how gender roles deny your identity or something.
It's not the whole you. You're only half of you, because it's crazy. You don't have to teach a little girl to want to play with a baby doll. When I was in Bolivia, I talked to these people. They said we never gave our daughter baby dolls. It just wasn't something we did. And yet she would pick up a squash and put a little blanket over it and be cradling a squash. It's a natural instinct, a motherly instinct in a woman. Whereas a boy, he wants to go over there and crash cars and hammer nails and stuff. It's just ingrained in us. It's not like some social construct that we're trying to. At some point in time, they said, no, this section you only bear babies and take care of them, and you do hard work. And
But think about it. When we were doing the research on The Matrix, right? And you look at where the Wachowski brothers went, what were they really trying to get at with the whole Matrix film?
They said it was all about trans.
Exactly. So being very similar in its approach and style and all that, would we expect anything different?
No,
you wouldn't. And to be honest, it's not it's the same kind of thinking. It's the same Gnostic New Age thinking. And the reason I say that is because they teach that the physical world is more or less like a prison, right? The physical world is what you have to get past. What you really need to get to is the spiritual world. That's who you really are. That's where you're really free. And so this material body is just, it's not that important.
Yeah.
So Harry Neff is a trans actor. And so he is a male who transitioned to a female, and he is one of the Barbies. And here's a statement on them.us. In an interview promoting the much anticipated, sure-to-be blockbuster film Barbie, Harry Neff, who plays one of the many iterations of Barbie in the film, shared the very interesting and very, very gay background she made up for her character. In an interview with Vogue, Neff said that she believes that rather than a little girl, her Barbie, who is canonically a doctor, is owned by a doll collector who is a gay man in his 50s who lives in a rent-controlled apartment in West Village. Neff's super gay backstory was influenced by the character's over-the-top, fashiony, crazy costumes. This is her quoting. I was like, this is no child's doll, she said. I feel like every week he has his 2 or 3 friends over. Maybe he's a little lonely and he shows them my new outfit and I just kind of stay in my box. So, yeah, interesting stuff that they had to put in a trans person in the Barbie movie and make them a Barbie. This is not really a kids movie, it's more for adults, but still it's the same agenda. I do want to emphasize, just so the viewers know, we don't hate gay people, we don't hate trans people. I have a friend who came out as such. But, we do believe that what the Word of God says, as much as we respect anyone and you respect them as people, we do you don't agree with the agenda that's being pushed in Hollywood.
The truth will make you free, and the truth is that God made you the way he made you, and that's who you really are. It's ironic to me. I saw a video of a bunch of trans people attacking this pastor guy who was just out there reading his Bible, and they were just getting louder and louder and louder and surrounded him, and they were singing "Born This Way," and I'm like, how ironic to say "born this way" when you're literally mutilating your body to be something else that you were not born as. Just really ironic.
If you define who you are, then you kind of supersede the creator.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Do you know that it's actually banned in Vietnam?
Of course it is.
I did.
Why do you think that it is?
Is it just Vietnam or is it China?
I mean, there's a little bit of spillover, but why would you say that? It may not be for the reason that you think.
No. They're very particular as to what kind of messages go out into their societies.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
whether it be religion or political.
You're definitely right.
It's geographical this time.
So listen to this. So when you think, okay, it's just a movie, it's just entertainment, there's nothing in there, right? Yeah. But movies are made and they make statements.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason for the ban, this is according to Collider, okay, is due to a scene in which a map. Now think, how many scenes have maps? Like how detailed do you have to watch this thing to see this? But they think it's important enough to ban it in the whole country. Depicting the 9 dashed line is featured. Do you know what that is? The 9 dashed line is a U-shaped line that is used to illustrate the territory in the South China Sea, which both China and Vietnam claim as their own. The 9 dashed line is used in Chinese maps to designate the country's claim over 90% of the sea. And the line affects more than just Vietnam, though. The Philippines, Indonesia, Brunei, Malaysia, and Taiwan have long been in a border debate over the sea and are all affected by China's claim on it. So
you'd think they would have just photoshopped it out or whatever, but that is really interesting.
According to Vietnam's Department of Cinema, the guy who's ahead of that said, we do not grant license for the American movie Barbie to release in Vietnam because it contains the offending image of the 9 dashed line.
Wow.
They're probably even more particular about American movies specifically. You know what I mean? Like fine-tooth comb.
Sure, but I mean...
Yeah, that's interesting.
Political statement, right?
Yeah.
And it was a map that was like a prop on set. It wasn't just in the background somewhere. Like Barbie was standing right in front of it. It's in the trailer.
And it'll be interesting to take a poll, like have a bunch of people watch the film and ask them, hey, did you pick up on that map? And
Right.
like, can you tell me when that happened? But they are really saying it doesn't matter whether you pick up on it or not. The subconscious will pick up on it, and a theory will develop in your mind, and that could affect us now or in the future. Who knows? So let's just put a stop to it.
A movie
now.
A movie won't affect you.
And even with that, it's the viewer saying this, not the people making the film. The people making the films believe it matters. They're very particular, and those watching it, was like, it's just a movie. It's like you buy a car. It's just a car. I'll put water in the tank. Who cares? Like, whatever. It's like, no, this is how the manufacturer made it, very specific, and they're giving you, and even in this interviews, they're telling us exactly what their intentions were. In the manual of a car, they tell you what the intentions were of the car. So it's like, who are we as the users to just toss it aside like it's nothing, like that information isn't important.
Yesterday I had a Facebook memory pop up, and it was a post of mine talking about how Dukes of Hazzard got banned. Dukes of Hazzard got taken off of Netflix, I guess it was, because of its Confederate flag on the car. And it's like a main part of the show. You can't like just, we'll get rid of this episode and Photoshop that out. I mean, it's like all the time. But literally just, some stripes and stars in a certain order, that's offensive enough to pull the show completely down. But movies don't affect us. They don't have an influence on the society or the world. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah. And the car was called the General Lee.
Yeah.
I watched Scott Ritzima's Media on the Brain series a while ago, or listened to it. And he talks about directors that will openly say, like I'll flip a little moral at them, flip a little, like my view of the world is at them.
That was
They're saying it.
Yeah. They're not hiding it.
Yeah, and that's really all they can do. Like each one of us have our own perspectives, our opinions, and we share our thoughts. What God is calling us to do is to be particular about or be discerning as to who we listen to, who we engage with, how much time you spend listening to a certain thought or theory. That's really it. So to a degree, although I do believe that there's demonic influence in some cases, to a degree, it's like, how can you fault someone for just putting out their worldview? Okay, cool. But it's us as a church that needs to be more particular about what we allow in.
Which is why we don't agree that this should be outlawed. You shouldn't be allowed to do this. We don't believe in that. We believe in boycott over censorship. Everybody should be able to have the right to put their opinions out there. But I think there's a lot of bias and censorship. Like if Christians want to make this awesome movie, is Universal going to put it out? Probably not,
Well, okay, so Barbie movie. There's definitely things in there that are either political or religious ideologies or philosophical ideologies. Final thoughts?
Don't go see it.
Don't go see it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go
there's
home.
one thought.
Spend time with your family and read your Bible.
There you go. They do such a good job at making it a likable movie. Like they really, for one, kids are gonna like it. It's Barbie. Adults are gonna like it because it's nostalgia.
Innuendos.
Yeah, and they said whether you like Barbie or hate Barbie, you're gonna love the movie because we take jabs at Barbie, and if you like Barbie, then it's gonna look, it glamorizes her, but at the same time mocks her and stuff. So it's gonna cast a big net, and it's gonna, a lot of people, like this said, it's sure to be a blockbuster. I guarantee this is gonna be like one of those cult classics from 2023. Remember that Barbie movie? So funny. It'll be another Zoolander or whatever. But
so I guess it comes out in a couple weeks, July 21.
Yeah.
So you were warned.
That's right.
All right, Kendi, any other thoughts from you?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, this has been another episode of LED Live. Thank you for joining us. Keep in mind, we have merch. We have shirts. You can get them on lightwear.shop. Don't forget that we're also on Patreon. We really appreciate your support and your help in making these kinds of productions. So you can donate there and see some perks. Also, same perks, same everything's available on our website. And actually, if you donate on our website, it does actually help us a lot because we get better rates through credit card companies, and you can donate through your bank that way too. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you for helping. Thank you for watching. And we will see you next time on LED Live.
Hey, subscribe to Lula Studios en español. Vas a encontrar muchos videos de Lula Studios que están traducidos en español y también contenido exclusivamente para nuestra audiencia latina. If you want to learn Spanish, a great way will be watching our videos for practice.